I'm Sarah Bermeo. I'm an Associate Professor of Public Policy and Political Science in the Sanford School at Duke University and the Associate Director of the Duke Center for International Development. We're here today to host a workshop on the crisis in the Northern Triangle, which are the countries of Guatemala, El Salvador, and Honduras. This is a complicated crisis, so there are several things going on at once. The most prominent one is the level of violence in these countries. These are three of the most violent countries in the world, and they have some of the most violent cities in the world. Layered on top of that is a secondary crisis that is being caused by drought related to climate change, which is creating extreme food insecurity in the region. It's a humanitarian crisis at the U.S.-Mexico border. We're seeing increased incidents of disease, we're seeing increased incidents of violence on the Mexican side of the border, but not on the U.S. side of the border. And so there is certainly a crisis there, but it is not a crisis of violence on the U.S. side of the border. I think we need to start addressing the problem in the Northern Triangle more strongly than we have been, because what we're seeing right now coming to the United States is a series of forced migrations. So these are people who, under normal circumstances, even given the economic differences between the countries, would not have chosen to flee their home. They're fleeing because they're subject to violence, they're fleeing because they're subject to extreme food insecurity, and if we can address those issues at their base, at the root causes of this forced migration, people will be able to remain in their homes and not feel the need to leave and travel thousands of miles, often on foot, in order to reach the United States border. Duke can play a couple of roles in this issue area. First, we can bring our own academic expertise to this. So there are people at Duke who are experts on foreign aid or on development or on Central America or Latin America more broadly. So we can certainly bring that perspective. The other thing that universities like Duke can do is use convening power, bringing people together, experts from lots of different areas who will come together to spend a day talking about an important issue like the crisis in the Northern Triangle. And that can increase the impact for both our own research that we're doing at Duke, but also the knowledge that we get from interacting with people who are not typically in academia.